A very pleasant morning, children. Once again I am back with the new video. Children, in our today's class, let us begin with a question. My question is, how many of you believe that there is some natural power which exists in and around you and always controls you? Yes, children, many of you may say that yes, I do feel, and there are many others who may also say that no, we do not. So children, in our today's class, by the means of chapter 17, that is religious movement, this chapter is going to give us answer for all our questions that do really some natural powers exist in and around us. Children, these chapter I have classified this into 4 different subgroups, such as first we are going to study it as a prevalent religious beliefs and ideas. Your second subgroup is criticism on prevalent religious beliefs and ideas. Your third category is rise of Bhakti movement and the last is features of, or you can say principles of Bhakti movement. So children, these 4 different subgroups are going to give you a total introduction to a chapter. Let us first begin with the first topic, that is prevalent religious beliefs and ideas. And let us see what were those ideas and beliefs which were prevalent during the medieval period and why this had been criticized. After their criticism, what led to the rise of Bhakti movement and what are the different features or the principles of Bhakti movement which were liked by the people in mass. Children, now let us begin with the prevalent religious beliefs and ideas. Let us see what are those ideas and beliefs which were prevalent during the medieval period. Children, during the medieval period, people worshipped different gods and goddesses, as we too do now. So those times they used to pray the gods like Vishnu, Shiva, worshipping them was in prominent, and goddess Durga. So these are the pictures, images, or you can say the deities of the god which were worshipped by the people during those days. Here there was also a belief, as you know that during medieval period the entire society was dominated by Brahmanas. So there was a lot of Brahmanical rituals which has to be followed by the people who are living in a society. Among that, one such ritual was, they believe that each and every human being has to pass through a countless cycles of birth and rebirth. And the condition in this is, the person who performs the good deeds will only be able to perform, or only he is going to qualify for this countless cycles of birth and rebirth. So this was a very doubtable question in each people's mind, that how it is going to be decided that which are the good deeds which have been performed by the people, and who are the people who are going to perform this countless cycles of birth and rebirth. The other thing which has also kept in their mind was, the society was prevalent with the idea that none of the human beings are equal from their birth. That means they said that each and every human being is unequal, and they are going to get position and status in the society by the means of the caste they belong to or in the family they have born. That means their domination have been shown by the means of the hierarchy, which has been already taught to you, that on that hierarchy you can say that it has been dominated by the Brahmanas, followed by Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and then the Shudras. So children, by seeing all these ideas, do you feel the people were happy over there? No children, there was a lot of discontamination in them, and they actually want to come out from all these Brahmanical rituals. They wanted to free themselves with all this, and that is why slowly people started criticizing it. So in our next subtopic, let us see what are the criticism for the prevalent religious ideas and the beliefs. Children, now let us see what are the criticism of the people on the prevalent religious beliefs and ideas. As I told you children, people are uneasy with the religious ideas. What kind of religious ideas? They were uneasy with the Brahmins' rituals such as sacrifices or yagnas performed by them, or the countless idea of countless cycles of birth and rebirth, unequal position in the society. All this created a kind of uneasy among the people, and they wanted to be free from all these Brahmanical rituals. Unequal social order was one of the most prominent kind of society during this period. As I told you earlier that it was totally being dominated by the Brahmanas, because Brahmanas were the people who were considered those time as very sacred and holy. Because if any puja to a god or any worship or any devotion, these Brahmanas were called as priests to worship the god. So people started thinking that these people are very sacred because they are very close to God. And as we people are worshipping God, even these people has to be worshipped. So all these thoughts made them feel very superior, and slowly they started dominating the society. But how long this is going to exist? Very few. So slowly what people started? They started criticizing it. And this finally led to the emergence of number of religious teachers. And these religious teachers were like a light during those period which has been seems as a darker period, because all these unequal social order in the society has created a suffocation for the people. So these religious teachers, by means of their different teachings, wanted the people to understand the real worship to a god, or what is a real devotion to the god. The main emphasis which was led by these religious teachers was, they led to the growth of bhakti movement among Hindus, and Sufi movement among Muslims. Which is also called as Sufism. So children, these are the two movements or ideas brought by the religious teachers has brought a new light to the people. It brought a new way of living to the people, and people started following these religious teachers. Though the way of Bhakti movement and Sufism, or the features, principles of both are different. But children, what we have to understand is the destination of both the movement was same. It is to open the eye of an people regarding the right faith in God or the right devotion for the God. Let us first begin with children with the Bhakti movement and see what it actually means and what are its different principles and features which we need to follow. Children, let us begin with the Bhakti movement. Here the word Bhakti means devotion or love God. So here the Bhakti word means that devotion or showing your love towards God. The teaching of Bhaktis was totally unbiased. That means it was not influenced by the caste system. That means they had a class hatred. That means they did not like the concept of caste system. Children, the Bhakti movement, their followers were classified into two groups. So the two groups were, one were as Saguna and others are Nirguna. Saguna and Nirguna are the two different types of followers who followed Bhakti movement but in different way. Let us first discuss about the Sagunas. The follower of Saguna Bhakti, they believed in idol worship. That means they believe that God has a form. That means he has a shape, image, form. Whereas, and as they believed in idol worship, so they worshipped the God in their different incarnations. Children, here the word incarnation means different forms of God. Might be you have seen some of the mythological stories where you have seen, listen that there are so many avatars of Vishnus and Shivas, like that. So this incarnation is nothing but avatar of same God into different forms. So these Shagunas, as they believed in idol worship, they worshipped their God in different incarnations, that same God in different forms. But whereas when we come to this Nirgunas, they believed in worshipping God formless. Here the word formless means that they did not believe, you can say that they did not believe in idol worship. For them, God was one who is omnipresent. Here the word omnipresent means the one who is present everywhere. And according to them, God is one who is residing in everybody's heart. He is within us. He is nothing but our soul. So these are the thoughts or the belief which the followers of Nirguna had about the God. Children, but there is few things which were very similar with these both the followers, that they both believed in Upanishadic philosophy of Advaita. So what did this Advaita philosophy says? It says that actually it believes in single God, and they totally reject non-duality of God. That means according to them there is one God and he has to be worshipped. So this was the thought which was liked by both the followers of the Shagunas and the Nirgunas. The last but not the least, which was followed by these two, was the followers of Bhakti movement. They led more importance on acquiring knowledge with their Guru. That means they had a great urge for acquiring knowledge from their Guru, and which had made them, you can also take it as this was the reason which made a Bhakti movement a very successful one. This would be a very important reason which led to the success of the Bhakti movement. So children, this is about the Bhakti movement, that what it means and which are the different types of followers in this, and what they actually mean. For them Bhakti means, so each one of them, though they followed Bhakti movement, but the ways they followed it was different. Now let us see what are the different principles or the features of Bhakti movement. Children, let us see some of the basic principles of Bhakti movement. Once you read the principles of Bhakti movement, then you will understand that why it was loved by the people. Children, first it was loving relationship between the devotee and his God. That means he says that it should not, worshipping God should not be like a formality. It should be actually a relationship, that is a loving relationship between a devotee and his God. The second thing is discarding of rituals and sacrifices as a mode of worship. They completely discarded the practice of sacrifices and the rituals which are performed by the Brahmanas as a modes of worship. They say that none of the God wants any kind of sacrifices or any rituals which is not at all affordable to a person. It's not at all necessary. Only if you show a love towards your God, it's enough for him. Next, purity of heart and mind. Once you worship your God, please keep your heart pure and your mind free from everything. When you're worshipping your God, it should be only you and your God. That means worship means devotee and a deity. Here devotee stands for the person who worshipping the God, and deity is nothing but your own loving God. Next, discarding of and discrimination based on gender. So this Bhakti movement completely discarded caste system or any kind of discrimination based on gender, caste, creed, etc. Brotherhood of mankind. That means each one of us, whether we are Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, any of the religion, we are all like a brothers and sisters. And here it is important that rather than giving importance to religion, it is very much important that we are all human beings, and we have to give importance to that mankind by being like a brothers and sisters to each other. So as a result, by seeing all these, what comes to your mind is that yes, exactly this is what the people wanted from the society. So after getting all these principles in the Bhakti movement, people slowly started getting attracted to itself. As a result, what happened, children? You can see due to Bhakti movement, many changes were introduced in worship. Such as it may be for the Hindus, for the Muslims or the Sikhs. You can see that as a best example we can give it for the changes in the worship are the kirtans at the temples. After introduction of Bhakti movement, we have seen lot of changes, like people started playing songs like kirtans in the temples, kavalis were sung at the dargahs, and gurubanis or the songs which were sung in the gurudwaras. So here what happened, Bhakti movement, you can say, though it has divided the people, the means of worship, the modes of worship, but Accordingly, it has brought people closer to each other, but only it has separated the branches. So let them worship in what way they want their God, and with the means of mankind, brotherhood, bringing all these principles and ideas into their mind, it has proved that though we are all, whatever language you are talking, whatever religion you are following, whichever God you are worshipping, but the best and the main thing is that we are all human beings, and we have to keep our hearts pure, keep our minds pure, and give importance to that mankind, and always be one. So with all these aspects, we have learnt the 4 different division of the introduction of the chapter. That is, first at the prevalent of religious beliefs and ideas during medieval period, followed by its criticisms, meaning of Bhakti movement, the 2 different followers under Bhakti movement, and we have also studied about the basic principles and what were the result of the Bhakti movement which has been seen in the society. So children, I hope till here it's clear to you. Now we have come to an end of the topic. Thank you children for your cooperation, and have a nice day.